by Salango law. Get results, not excuses.
Well, thanks for tuning in for your latest on a Wednesday. Meteorologist Joe Hansley here. Yesterday in Charleston, average for a high is 75. That's where highs are supposed to be this time of the year. And below average for the low. Chilled down to 40, a dozen of below average for that. No rain yesterday. No, rain's going to be quite likely today. We have an approaching cold front swinging in this morning from the northwest. And there'll be some multiple chances of passing showers and storms through the course of the day this evening and ending not until the overnight. There is a marginal risk yet of some severe weather potential. If you're in the dark green, that's most of us in the state. Isolated damaging winds are possible as storms today, with also some locally heavy rain. The higher rainfall totals favor eastern areas of the state and lesser amounts for southwestern and western areas of the state. Fly Sierra forecast, it starts at home. New York City at 68 today, Tampa 88, near 90 tomorrow, 92 on Friday. From Panhandle to Panhandle, rain and storms likely today. Isolated severe storms with a high in the upper 60s to near 70 and a chance of showers and storms ending during the overnight hours, lows in the 40s. Watching for isolated severe storm potential, potentially a heavy shower too. Highs in the 70s, lows in the 40s to some upper 30s in the higher elevations tonight. East to west, be mindful, marginal risk of severe thunderstorms today. Highs in the 60s and some 70s, 40s overnight. And from east to west, southern areas of the state, 60s and 70s, rainstorms likely today and early tonight with lows in the low to mid 40s. Northwest wind tomorrow, lighter, 64, mostly cloudy skies, 74 on Friday. I'll watch for chances of showers and storms in the long term for the weekend and also a warming trend. 87 Saturday, 91 Sunday, 95 Monday, 94 Tuesday, approaching some daily record highs and daily warm record lows by the end of the weekend, early next week. So some heat concerns next week.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
Recapping the 2026 West Virginia primary elections, and boy, do we have a lot to go over. It's MetroNews Talkline. We're underway.
Do not attempt to change the station. You are surrounded. We interrupt this program to bring you an emergency news bulletin. Repeat, this is an emergency bulletin. Keep your radio turned on.
From the studios of WVRC Media and the MetroNews Radio and Television Network, the voice of West Virginia, comes the most powerful show in West Virginia. This is MetroNews Talkline with Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows.
Check set lineup link. Activated Telos telephone. Switch network control from Charleston to Morgantown.
Stand by. Q Dave and TJ. You're on. MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Good morning. Welcome inside the Encova Insurance Studios. Dave Wilson in Morgantown, TJ's in Charleston. And you are listening in on our great radio affiliates across the state. Thank you very much for that. Or if you're watching on the MetroNews television app, Facebook Live, YouTube Live. Results, analysis, breakdown of yesterday's 2026 West Virginia primary election coming up over the course of the next couple of hours. We'll actually be speaking with several of the candidates who were winners last night. Rachel Fetty Anderson won the Democrat nomination for U.S. Senate will join us in studio. Clay Riley in the House of Delegates. Vince Deed, State Senate. Also, later on, Lance Wheeler, who won a State Senate primary in Kanawha County, will join us as the morning unfolds. We'll get your thoughts this morning at 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. You can also text the show at 304-TALK-304. With all that, say good morning to TJ Meadows in the Encova Insurance Studios in Charleston. Good morning, Mr. Meadows.
Good morning, sir. How many hours did you get last night? What, 2, 3, 4?
About three.
Yeah. I went to bed 3:30, got up about 7.
Oh, I went to bed before you then. I took about an hour to unwind, admittedly, I watched a couple episodes of Family Guy, had another sandwich last night, and just kind of crashed in the office, get ready for sign-on shift today. So Here we are. It's part of the election. It's part of the allure of covering an election, TJ.
I was going to go home, decompress, and on the way out, Chris Lawrence has said, "You're going to write a commentary, right?" I was like, so I went home and I wrote a commentary.
So, yeah, I guess I'll do that, Chris. So, a couple of thoughts here. We're going to get Brad McElhinny, MetroNews statewide correspondent, in on the conversation here. Going into the election, we thought, TJ, this could be a referendum on Governor Morrissey, Governor Morrissey's candidates. And certainly his candidates had a lot of success yesterday, but still it feels like it was kind of a mixed bag. Where all the money went, Tom Takubo race, Vince Deeds race, a bunch of the money went into those. Not successful in those Senate districts. Had some success in other districts. Had success over on the House side. I kind of feel like, TJ, we're starting today right where we were a couple of days ago for all intents and purposes when it comes to the makeup of the legislature.
Yeah, I think that's the top line. Nothing changed. So last night I was looking at Sugar Maple Pack, and I'm trying to create like a net score. So for every race that they invested in, they won, I gave them +1. For every one they lost, I gave them -1. Guess what their score is? 0. They spent $1.124 million, and they have a score of 0. Nothing changed. Nothing changed. School freedom, school choice, big issue.
Mm-hmm.
They spent $917,000. I believe I need to check one race, but right now they're +1. And they invested in 25 races. They had a gain of +1 in the category. A lot of money spent, not a lot changed. That's the takeaway. The big change, however, was the court. I know we'll get to that.
Yeah.
My mind, that was the story of the night.
And I think, TJ, and I'm trying to do the TJ thing, put some data. I can't do the spreadsheet, but I started looking at just a couple of counties this morning.
Yeah.
At turnout and who cast ballots. And I looked at Monongalia and I looked at Kanawha, a couple of our biggest. Democrat ballots cast, I think, played a major role in this election, especially when it comes to the judiciary. I think Democrats and independents, this is just a gut feeling because I haven't really put the data to it, but I think Democrats and independents voting on Democrat tickets turned out yesterday.
What I will be very eager to see, and I'm already putting requests out for the data, how many independents of those that are registered actually showed up, right? And if they showed up, did they take a Democratic ballot or a nonpartisan? Because that was the one thing for them, the court. Those who showed up, if they showed up with an axe to grind, the one place they could make their voice known was the court. And I think I agree with you. Look, I've heard all of the talk, well, independents really don't vote in the Republican primary, so it's not going to be a big deal. I'm sorry. I have to see some really firm evidence to believe that based on what happened last night.
Let me give you a for example. Monongalia County, TJ. Republicans, by the way, now outnumber Democrats, registered Democrats in Monongalia County, the last blue stronghold. But Democrat ballots cast outnumber GOP ballots 2-1. So you're telling me all of those? No, those are independent voters. Those are unaffiliated independents who voted on that Democrat ticket. And the judiciary races bear that out as well. All right, let's
isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? The one thing both factions agreed on the Republican side was a conservative court, and they don't have it.
And they don't have. Let's bring Brad McElhinny into the conversation, MetroNews statewide correspondent. Oh, good morning, Brad.
Oh, hi. Is 0 a good return on investment? That's ROI, right? Is 0 good?
Yeah, I'm going to say no, Brad.
If you go to Las Vegas, right?
Broke even.
If you break even coming home from Vegas, you've done all right. All right, Brad. What jumped out to you last night?
So I think the big picture is the governor and his allies, either through endorsements or shoe leather or money, put a lot into these races. And you use the term mixed bag. I think that's the case. In the Senate, where there was a lot of the attention, I think you go into the fall with an equilibrium. The governor did not manage to take his top 2 scalps, Tom Takubo and Vince Deeds, the incumbent senators that Governor Morrissey really went after. Didn't get them. And then, he did win, Governor Morrissey, a series of incumbents that he had backed. And that's not nothing, but overall the trend in the Senate was that if an incumbent was on the ballot, in general, they won. So, you call that a hold. And then in the House, he did get a big scalp. He went after the House Finance Chairman, Vernon Criss, and Criss didn't win. Chris's ally, Morrissey antagonist Scott Heckert, also of Wood County, also didn't win. So that's a couple there. But some Morrissey targets did win. One is going to be a guest on the show in a few minutes, Clay Riley, who is the vice chairman of finance. If Clay Riley rises to become the finance chairman in the House after Vernon Criss has vacated, is that a win for Morrissey? And then, there are other candidates that Morrissey went after. Gary Howell of Mineral County won anyway. Candidates that Morrissey backed, Laura Kimball of Harrison County, appears to be losing by a few votes. So, again, a mixed bag, but that big Vernon Criss knockoff. And I agree with you that the court races where Governor Morrissey had 2 of his appointees on the ballot, 2 of the 5 justices of the West Virginia Supreme Court, he couldn't get them across the line. He focused his efforts on those Senate races, achieved a mixed bag, and couldn't get his own, and how much effort did he truly put toward it, couldn't get his own court nominees across the line.
Brad, in terms of a Morrissey Senate, when we look at this potential breakout, incumbents won in the Senate last night by and large. You can't count Wacom Chapman yet because she's going to have a tough battle with Fluharty, but it's somewhere around 17, 18 seats that are pretty secure in that Morrissey-Smith faction. Here's my question. If something happens, and by my count, the Tacuba folks have about 8, maybe 9, depending on which way folks go at this point. If something happens, it's going to have to be some kind of internal politics within the Senate to flip it, and I think that's a real uphill battle. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think it could be fluid, especially depending on whatever the results of the general election in the fall are. Mm-hmm. Randy Smith became president because it was a 3-way race at one point. It was Smith against Tacuba against Tarr. Tarr was the first to get knocked out, and his supporters went towards Smith in the moment. It could reshuffle. It could become, they could have had 2 years of Smith, and it's just too much drama. That is possible. And then it is also possible that some parliamentary style group comes out of the general election, whether it's a larger number of Democrats aligning with the more moderate Republican forces, and they could have veto power on some of this stuff, especially the social issues.
MetroNews statewide correspondent Brad McElhinny joining us in the Encova Insurance Studios this morning, rehashing yesterday's statewide primary results. And TJ, to your point, I don't necessarily disagree with you. I think it's a wait and see because I wouldn't take anything for granted this morning for the general election. I mean, we assume Chris Miller, because he's a Republican, wins that seat out of Cabell County. That's not necessarily a guarantee, nor do we know, even if he wins, where would Chris Miller fall when it comes to those 2 particular factions. So general could have an impact. Some may have buyer's remorse who were Smith supporters, and there are a few people, I think, in the Senate who can very eloquently play the middle and read which way the winds are shifting. And if the winds are shifting toward someone else emerging as Senate president, maybe they go, oh, I'm going to hitch my wagon over here instead of over there this time. So I think your initial analysis is spot on. Things could change a whole lot between now and January.
Absolutely. And that first with Wacom Chapman versus Fluharty, that's going to be a battle. I mean, that is going to be one to watch. And I also think the 13th with Williams and Oliverio is going to be one to watch. And, to the winner goes the spoils. There are 2 seats that are going to go one way or the other that are going to have a dramatic impact on the general when it comes to the Senate presidency.
Brad, did Republicans in the Morrissey faction drop the ball in the judicial race? Not a lot of attention there. Some late PAC spending on the judicial race, but that kind of bucked the trend last night. The incumbents got resoundingly voted out last night in the judiciary races.
I mean, it's nonpartisan, but what you're saying is true.
It's nonpartisan, but
I mean, it's an attention economy, and that is subject to the governor too. Where was his attention? It appeared to be on the state Senate and on some of those House races. He had 2 semi-incumbents who did not have a lot of runway to get their campaigns going. They were recently named to the Supreme Court, but they were out of the running in the end. And if people heard it last night, the Metro News Decision Desk team had one of the winning candidates, former Republican delegate. He's a former delegate, not a former Republican, Bill Flanagan, who acknowledged that part of his strategy, a significant part of it, was in this era of closed Republican primaries, he was getting the message out to nonpartisan voters and Democrats and telling them, your vote counts in this nonpartisan race that is going to be final. And that paid off for him.
Brad, one quick question, and I think I heard Jeff Jenkins say this last night, Dave. Firm it up, but for those who didn't hear it, given the fact that Ewing and Titus were filling roles and were nominated and put in by the governor, as soon as canvass is done, the new candidates are in. Is that correct? Do I have that right?
I think that's right, because normally, somebody getting a 12-year term would be allowed to fill out their term to last until December. But the original occupants of these seats, Beth Walker retired and Tim Armstead sadly died. So, yeah, these are terms that the new winners can take over in short order. And that means they're in line to settle a lot of these things. The ongoing vaccine case, the question of who has the final say-so on education policies, the question of whether local governments need to provide elections for when a charter school is established in their community. Those are all before the court, all unsettled, and this newly shaped court will be the justices that handle those questions.
He is Metro News statewide correspondent Brad McElhinny. How many stories did you complete last night?
I did 5, and I think I got to bed before anybody else in the room.
He did. I think you texted right before we cleared the broadcast. Got all my deadline stuff done, which is not bad to be done by midnight.
Not bad for anyone.
Not bad.
And now we're reacting today.
Now what do you do, Brad?
Now we got
now what? You got nothing to do for?
We have 3 months of.
Isn't there interim meetings coming up soon?
Actually, Monday. Yeah.
Those could be interesting.
We have 3 months of prognosticating the general election.
Oh, we're going on to 28. 28 campaign starts today, right?
Oh, absolutely.
That's what TJ said yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it did. I think it started at 7:31. I'm telling you, I would have loved to have been in some of the text message chains that were going on last night, the things we could have learned.
Oh, if some of the people were in our text message chains last night.
That's true.
They would have learned what's going on with the stream. All right. No, the stream went very well. Brad, thank you very much for hanging out with us this morning. Go get you some rest somewhere, buddy.
I'm just going to lay my head down.
You can use the sleeping chair up in the office if you like.
Right, good deal.
All right, Metro News statewide correspondent Brad McElhinny. You can read his recaps over at WVMetroNews.com. More of our thoughts and yours when we return.
Are you ready to reach the finish line of retirement? At the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group, we provide comprehensive guidance for retirement planning in West Virginia. With years of experience, we'll draft a plan tailored for your unique goals. Whether you're just starting or nearing retirement, we make the process as simple as possible, easy, and stress-free. Visit wealthenhancement.com/Stike to set up a complimentary consultation and get started on your plan today. Let's work toward your dream retirement together.
Welcome back, class of 2011. Most likely to be a millionaire, didn't quite make it. Hey, reunion's not over yet.
Over here, millionaire, smile.
Make room, people.
Who is that?
Congratulations to our very own Millionaire for Life!
Never too late, man.
You could win up to $1 million every year with Millionaire for Life. Play in store or online today. West Virginia Lottery. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Every day across West Virginia, healing happens here, where skilled hands and caring hearts save lives. West Virginia hospitals are more than places of care. They are lifelines for our communities. Employing nearly 54,000 people, hospitals power local economies and help communities not just survive, but thrive. During National Hospital Week, we recognize those who care for us all, because healing happens here, and its impact reaches everywhere. A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
5, 3.
For your daily fix of sports in West Virginia, there's only one stop.
I would imagine a group of you got together and watched the Mountaineers last night. What were your thoughts on that performance?
It was funny, we were sitting with a guy last night, and he said, all right, I'm going to go put $1,000 on it. Well, down the stretch of that ball game, he's looking at us like, are you kidding me? And sure enough, the Mountaineers came back. I saw him today. He said, yep, I'm putting another $1,000 on them tomorrow.
Sportsline on MetroNews Television.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
304 Talk 304. Let's get a couple of texts in here. Rachel Fetty Anderson going to join us, bottom of the hour, Democrat nominee for U.S. Senate. Kudos to Brad for still wearing the sports coat. What a first-class fella. Yeah, we were looking good last night. Hey, buddy, 3 hours of sleep, you're going to get the quarter-zip pullover. Sorry. That's what you get. I'll try to do better tomorrow. I'll try to do better. But, yeah, I told the story on the air, and the boss man in the corner office got a kick out of it. My wife shamed us all into wearing sport coats last night. Even Chris Lawrence went with sport jacket, and that is squarely 100% the fault of my wife, who started by shaming me and then by proxy shamed the rest of the crew last night. So kudos to her.
He comes in here last night. He says, I heard on the radio today with you two that we're wearing sport coats. I just thought we were wearing, and I was like, well, hey, I learned about it too. So I guess Jenna Wilson decided we're all wearing sport.
It was all her fault.
I don't do a very good Chris Lawrence. Sorry.
That's not bad. Let's get a couple of texts in here before the bottom of the hour. Texter says, now that the primary is over, will the 6 independents that could not vote in the Republican primary please stop crying? TJ and Dave, you are 1/3, says the texter. I know it's anecdotal, but I know independents that went and took Democrat ballots just because they were teed off. I know it's hard to put data to, and we're talking, a lot of this is gut feel and anecdotal. TJ, you brought this up. We talked about this when Republicans closed the primary. Would disenfranchised independent voters do this? And I think they did, and I think they did in some significant numbers yesterday.
And the question becomes, and I agree with you, and look, it's a hypothesis. We will prove it out as the numbers become available, and it will be proved or disproved. That's fine. But how many independents just didn't come out yesterday that may still be a little ticked off come general time that would come out for the general? That'll be the next big thing, right? So if you had a lot that stayed home for whatever reason, they didn't like all the negative campaigning or they just didn't do it, they come out for the general, but they haven't got theirs yet. What happens then?
304 Talk 304. Guys, you seem to be missing the big point. Conservative governor and conservative Senate leadership continue in power. Moderate faction led by Takubo declared war, recruited 10 candidates to try to take out conservatives. Takubo went 0 for 10. Status quo antebellum, conservative Senate with 2-1 advantage. I think there are a lot of factors. Okay, I get your point. There's something to that. I think there are a lot more factors to consider in this race when you look at it. And look, if I'm Mike Pushkin, and we don't have time to get into it right now, we'll dive into this a little bit more deeply, TJ. If I'm Mike Pushkin, chair of the state Democrat Party, I feel pretty good this morning.
Yeah.
Not saying they're going to flip majorities anytime soon, but to start to make some headway, I would be feeling pretty good this morning about looking ahead toward November in several of these races.
And look, I gave the governor his love last night.
Sure.
I mean, he did. He did what he needed to do
Absolutely.
in the Senate. It's clearly right now a Morrissey Senate. He did what he needed to do. He gets credit for that. Spent a lot of money to do it.
The gamble worked. We talked about that. He put all of his chips in the middle, and I guess the river card was an ace, if you will, to use the Texas Hold'em reference. 304-TALK, 304 is the text line, 800-765-8255, the phone number. One of the Democrat races we were watching last night was the nomination for U.S. Senate. Former Morgantown City Council member Rachel Fetty Anderson won that and won it pretty handily. We'll talk to her coming up later on. Harrison County Delegate Clay Riley will join us. Dave and TJ in the Encove Insurance Studios. This is Talkline on Metro News. Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia. It's 10:30. Let's get a news update and check in with the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening all across the great state of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Well, thanks for tuning in for your latest on a Wednesday. Meteorologist Joe Hansley here. Yesterday in Charleston, average for a high is 75. That's where highs are supposed to be this time of the year. And below average for the low. Chilled down to 40, a dozen of below average for that. No rain yesterday. No, rain's going to be quite likely today. We have an approaching cold front swinging in this morning from the northwest. And there'll be some multiple chances of passing showers and storms through the course of the day this evening and ending not until the overnight. There is a marginal risk yet of some severe weather potential. If you're in the dark green, that's most of us in the state. Isolated damaging winds are possible as storms today, with also some locally heavy rain. The higher rainfall totals favor eastern areas of the state and lesser amounts for southwestern and western areas of the state. Fly Sierra forecast, it starts at home. New York City at 68 today, Tampa 88, near 90 tomorrow, 92 on Friday. From Panhandle to Panhandle, rain and storms likely today. Isolated severe storms with a high in the upper 60s to near 70 and a chance of showers and storms ending during the overnight hours, lows in the 40s. Watching for isolated severe storm potential, potentially a heavy shower too. Highs in the 70s, lows in the 40s to some upper 30s in the higher elevations tonight. East to west, be mindful, marginal risk of severe thunderstorms today. Highs in the 60s and some 70s, 40s overnight. And from east to west, southern areas of the state, 60s and 70s, rainstorms likely today and early tonight with lows in the low to mid 40s. Northwest wind tomorrow, lighter, 64, mostly cloudy skies, 74 on Friday. I'll watch for chances of showers and storms in the long term for the weekend and also a warming trend. 87 Saturday, 91 Sunday, 95 Monday, 94 Tuesday, approaching some daily record highs and daily warm record lows by the end of the weekend, early next week. So some heat concerns next week.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted Best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
When you hired me, you were 29. You seemed like you were 50 when you were 29. You were running that thing like a 50-year-old man. All right, we got to go get some tape. Come on, get out of there.
I think I've sort of always been 50, and I think I'm 50 now.
Yeah, me too.
That's
me too.
a great point.
Join Tony Caridi, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for 3 Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronewstv.com.
MetroNews Talkline from the Encove Insurance.
Today's Metro News television forecast.
865-8255. You can text the show at 304-TALK-304. Delegate Clay Riley going to join us. Vince Deeds, top of the hour. The victorious Republican candidate in the 10th district. That's down in Greenbrier County. We'll talk to him coming up in just a little bit. Get some more of your text here, 304-TALK-304. Supposed to talk with Rachel Fetty Anderson, Democrat who won the party's nomination for U.S. Senate, coming up shortly. Texter says the results of the primary shows are not surprising. Morrissey really has no power and most certainly no mandate. I've always said 66% did not want him back in the 2024, and in a head-to-head race in 2028, he won't win re-election. Hashtag Jim and Baby Dog. Hashtag Larry Pack. Morrissey gained nothing last night. It was a wash. And you've started to put some data to that, TJ, that after all the spending, after all of the campaigning, this may actually end up kind of being right where we started from.
Yeah, Sugar Maple, right? They were in 10 races, spent $1.124 million, and that is the governor's chief PAC, especially on the Senate side. 5 of those Senate, 5 of those House. They netted out a net score of 0. Won 5, lost 5. So, what, $1.124 million to keep it status quo. This one, School Freedom, invested in 26 races. The big thing there is school choice, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
They spent $917,000. Give them a plus for every one seat they picked up. Give them a -1 for every seat they lost. They come out with a netted score of +2. So they paid $458,000 to gain 2 seats. AFP had a better night. They were in 28 races. They supported and endorsed in more, but they gave money by my count in 28 races. Spent $799,000. And again, these numbers could change based on what comes in. But they netted out 6 seats, so $132 per seat. It's a lot of money, sir, for 6 seats. And I'm not saying it's not worth it. I'm just saying it's a lot of money. And not a lot changed,
And
anything.
We knew the House wasn't going to flip one way or the other. There's too many. There's 100 delegates, right?
Yeah.
And if at the end of the day, the Senate is kind of the same makeup it was before the election, I mean, we're looking at possibly the same type of legislative session, if you want to go look into the crystal ball into January, that we saw the last 2 years, where you could see a lot of gridlock. And look, and everybody was saying the right thing last night, TJ, whether it was Governor Morrissey when we spoke to him on our coverage, Republicans yesterday. I heard Josh Holstein on with Dave Allen yesterday on MetroNews Midday about, we're all going to come, we're all on the same team, we're all going to work together. They're all saying the right things.
Mm-hmm.
You know as well as I do, what was said in the campaign material, what was said in this primary election, that's not going to be forgotten anytime soon. And when it comes time to run so-and-so's legislation or the governor's agenda, good luck. Good luck if you're on the other side. And vice versa, by the way. This is going to go both ways. So good luck. Good luck healing.
Yeah, and that's why I think, and I've taken some criticism. I'm a little surprised. I've taken a bit of criticism for this. I think the big story is the court.
Yes.
I mean, that's the biggest story out there after last night. You went in with a 4-1 conservative court, and you came out last night with a liberal court 3-2. In a time where, as Brad pointed out, we're arguing over who really controls education. Is it the State Board of Education or the legislature? Vaccine is out there. That's going to end up at the court. Number of other issues. How about things that have already been plowed? You don't think somebody's going to run a few cases on tort reform now that you've got a more liberal court? That's the story.
And maybe we didn't pay enough attention, TJ. Looking
I didn't.
back, maybe
Guilty.
we didn't spend enough time looking at those races because the attention. So much of the attention was on the Senate and those House races leading into that. And kudos. Look, Bill Flanagan's strategy was excellent.
Yeah.
Go to the voters that nobody was talking to. And he went and he talked to them.
Yep.
Literally talked to them. He told a story about talking to a young man at a Dairy Queen last night. Ended up getting his whole family to come out to vote. Great job. Great job getting out there.
And, Dave, I missed it. I did not start looking at the Supreme Court races until a week ago when you had a surge of money, like $400,000 from a PAC came in in support of Gerald Titus. I'm like, oh, what's going on? Somebody's worried.
Yeah. Let's get a phone call in here. Bob in Charleston wants to weigh in on the primary results. Hey, Bob.
Hey, Morrissey managed to flip several seats, spending $5 million. And we elect representatives to represent their constituents in the various locals, districts, whatever. And Morrissey, in the people that he managed to get in on his side, they're going to have to march in lockstep to what he wants to do, since he spent all that money to get them in, which means they're going to be representing Morrissey more than they're representing the constituents in their district. And I wonder if what he did this time just sends a big message to everybody else in the legislature: if you don't do what he wants you to do, I'll come and get you the next time. Thank you.
Bob, appreciate the phone call. I would say that was very much the intent, TJ. Did that message land? I don't know. And I'll throw this out for Vernon, Chris, and Scott Hecker. Listen, I don't live in those districts. I don't know how much they fought back, but how much did you get out and battle and push back against the attacks that were coming your way in those districts? You have to ask the candidates that.
Yeah, and the numbers were just surprising. I need to go back and look at the history in those two House races, but I think the Chris race, was it right at 1,000?
Just about 1,000 votes. That's all.
I mean, and voter turnout overall was what, 21%?
Mm-hmm. I think TJ, a lot. I think Democrat ballots outpaced Republicans. I think we're going to see that bear out in the overall numbers.
Yeah, no, I agree. And let's talk about that percentage for a second. Just running through. I mean, historically, maybe I think it's a little less, especially if not just at 22. You look at 2018, it's far less, I believe, as I recall last night. But what does it say, too, just more broadly, that 21% of registered voters came out, 21% of the people made the decision? I mean,
that's the norm, though.
I get it, but I mean, you know, to me, it's extremely disappointing. I was talking with someone yesterday who was a first-generation American, and they were talking about the fact they're just blown away that more people do not go. We take it for granted.
Sure we do.
So take it for granted.
All right, Rachel Fetty's going to join us. Other side of the break, Clay Riley as well. Lots to get to before the top of the hour. We're back in a moment.
Located in the heart of West Virginia, Bridgeport is the place to play. Endless indoor and outdoor recreation opportunities, including the Bridgeport Complex, coupled with a dynamic food scene, make Bridgeport the perfect getaway destination for couples and families. Explore unique shopping and pick from a wealth of lodging options to find something perfect for your needs. Explore the heart of West Virginia in Bridgeport. Learn more about all there is to do at greater-bridgeport.com.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
Picture a community where every space tells a story. Those are the communities we're designing at ZLM Architects and Engineers. With a blend of creativity and technical expertise, we design spaces that inspire, innovate, and ignite change. From cutting-edge educational facilities to community-centric gathering spaces, we're committed to improving lives through design. Let us help you shape a brighter future for generations to come. Because at ZLM, it's more than architecture. It's about building your legacy.
Welcome back, class of 2011.
Most likely to be a millionaire, didn't quite make it. Hey, reunion's not over yet.
Over here, millionaire, smile.
Make room, people.
Who is that?
Congratulations to our very own Millionaire for Life.
never too late, man.
You could win up to $1 million every year with Millionaire for Life. Play in store or online today. West Virginia Lottery. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? A lot of times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown! We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
The region's largest restoration firm, responding from 5 locations. When disaster strikes your home or business, call Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
On the Democrat ticket yesterday, voters selected their nominee to run for the United States Senate, and emerging victorious yesterday was Rachel Fetty Anderson, former Morgantown City Council member. 30,743 votes. She defeated Jeff Kessler by some 6,100, almost 6,200 votes. There were 3 others in that race as well. Joining us in studio this morning is the aforementioned Rachel Fetty Anderson. Rachel, good morning. Congratulations.
Good morning, and thanks so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Appreciate you coming by. What do you think the difference was yesterday?
I've spent some time thinking about it once I got over the shock, and I think what we can clearly see on the Democratic side is that we had a pretty solid 65-70% of folks who are really looking for a progressive perspective from their Democratic electorate, particularly at the federal level. We're looking for someone who does not accept a lot of corporate or industry money and a lot of PAC funds. We're looking for somebody who's going to represent the people who vote for them, and we're looking for someone who can really make a difference in West Virginia. I think on my end, what I think was really transformative is a situation that's happening with women in West Virginia and women all over the country. I know that y'all might not see this too much, but in our day-to-day lives, we see a lot of misogyny, a lot of challenges to our autonomy, to our safety in our state house and in other state houses. We see a lot of dark information in our personal lives relating to just male behavior, and I think we're really looking for someone who I know I wanted to represent a perspective that would say that women deserve equal rights, and that the discussion about how equal or non-equal women are can't focus on the issue of abortion. That is one medical procedure that some women need or desire, but this desire for full equality, full respect, equal treatment, and full dignity for women is needs to be transformative and across the board.
How do you feel about taking on Senator Capito coming up in the general election? That's going to be a tall challenge. That's a tall order.
I think it is really challenging. She's she and her family have been leaders in the state for a long time, but I think we're at a point where the Republican Party is no longer what it once was. You all have been talking for a long time now about the amount of money that's been dumped into these races, whether it's by Governor Morrissey or by the Republican Party and their Republican donors who are looking pretty enthusiastically to trying to maintain control of these state houses. And the way they do it is on these social cultural issues, but the purpose is really to get deregulation, to move data centers into West Virginia and every other state for that matter. And we I know it's going to be difficult, but I think all we have to do really is look at the record of the Republicans, both at the federal level and at the state level. And what we'll see is that these folks don't represent the voter anymore, and we really need someone who represents the average West Virginian. Because here's the thing, Dave. This is the puzzle that I think we all need to grapple with. We're the 5th largest producer of energy in the country, and we have the 51st median income, and that's an intolerable challenge for everyday families here. We honestly can't take it anymore.
Rachel, we're a little tight on time here. We got a lot of candidates to get to today, but congratulations on the primary victory, and we'll certainly be talking between now and November. Good to see you again.
Thanks so much. Glad to have the chance.
Rachel Fetty Anderson, Democrat nominee for U.S. Senate, former Morgantown City Council member, won that 5-way primary last night. Clay Riley from Harrison County joins us next.
Right now, America is hungry for energy, more power, more reliability, and more security. So here's a question worth asking. Why not coal? And why not now? West Virginia sits on one of the most abundant energy resources in the world. Generations of miners, proven infrastructure, and coal-fired power plants already delivering dependable, around-the-clock electricity. At a time when demand is surging and reliability matters more than ever, coal isn't a question mark, it's a solution. Today, there's robust support in West Virginia and Washington to strengthen American energy independence using the resources we already have. So again, we ask, why not coal? And why not now? Because when it comes to powering our homes, our hospitals, our economy, and new opportunities, West Virginia Coal is ready. A message from the Friends of Coal, powering America today and tomorrow.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? A lot of times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
.com.
304 Talk 304, the text line 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255 is the phone number. We'll get to your text coming up in the second hour. Harrison County Delegate Clay Riley fended off a primary challenge yesterday. He joins us on MetroNews Talkline this morning. Clay, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, gentlemen.
What do you make of this primary? It was brutal. It was tough. Republicans battling Republicans. What were your takeaways from all of this?
It was a long, tough primary. I think when you listen to diverse ideas, I think it's good to have these discussions. You talk about whether it's the outside money or the internal money or the wealth of ideas that are out there. So I think having these discussions are important. I think it makes the party stronger when you talk about good policy, and that's what I was able to focus my race.
You were slammed with negative ads, Clay. Can you forgive and forget?
I don't hold grudges. We're elected to do the work for the people of West Virginia. I don't hold grudges. My dad raised me to say, go do the work, son, and good things turn out. And so when I look at how we need to move forward in West Virginia, I don't hold grudges, but I will do the work.
You don't. Others might. So how do you help? How do you bring the Republican Party back together? How do you get guys to be on board, guys and girls on board, and to put personal differences aside and work for legislation that is best for the state?
Listen to the people. I mean, it's pretty simple. We talk about whether it's Citizens United and how much money came in or whatever it might be, but the voters have the ultimate voice. And the people that I serve in Shinston and Lumberport and Wallace and Salem and Jacksonburg and Folsom and Pine Grove, those are the people that I serve in the entire state of West Virginia. I have a district responsibility and I have a state responsibility. And I think everyone who shows up to the legislature recognizes it.
Not to be in delegate, Vernon Criss lost last night, House Finance Chair. You're Vice Chair. Are you the new House Finance Chairman by default?
No, Chairman Criss is the chairman. We have 7 months left in this term. I think Chairman Criss did an outstanding job at reducing taxes, removing regulatory burdens. He really focused when he was the chairman on policy and having good, hard discussions. These are discussions that we need to move West Virginia forward. And I'm disappointed Chairman Criss lost. I thought he did a lot of great things. We disagreed on some policy. We agreed on some policy. We hashed it out. But in the end, he worked hard for the citizens of West Virginia.
Is that something you would be interested in?
I am there to represent. I serve at the will and pleasure of the speaker. We have 7 months left, Dave, and I want to do the work as the vice chairman, and we're going to do the work for the citizens.
Clay Riley is joining us, Harrison County Delegate. What kind of work can you get done in the next 7 months?
I've been working a lot on brownfields. So I think one of the initiatives that we underutilize are existing brownfields, and that's something that I've started working on with Delegate Ryan Browning, who won his election last night. And we're looking at how we can make that more efficient to bring more jobs, more economic development into the state of West Virginia. So it's one of the things I'm specifically working on.
General question, anything else surprised you last night? Just in general, you've been around politics a long time. Any races that caught your eye?
So I've not been around politics a long time. I
Sure you
got
have.
an ninja nerd, man. I just got into this by happenstance because I know infrastructure and I thought I could help. There were a few races that did surprise me. I thought some folks really put in the work that I thought would win that didn't. So yeah, there were a few, but I'm still learning. I'm still new at this.
Harrison County Delegate Clay Riley won his primary race last night. No Democrat in that district, so he will be headed back to Charleston come January for the 2027 legislative session. Clay, we appreciate you hopping on with us, taking a few minutes this morning. Congratulations, and we'll be talking again between now and January, that's for sure.
Thanks, gentlemen. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Delegate Clay Riley, Harrison County, the 72nd House District. Let's get a couple of texts in. 304 Talk 304. Oh, I decided to put up a Twitter flash poll because, why not get some highly unscientific and very much unofficial data to add to TJ's spreadsheet. So here's the question I put up, TJ, because inquiring minds want to know. If you are an unaffiliated voter in West Virginia, what did you do on primary election day? Sit it out, vote Democrat ballot, or vote nonpartisan ballot? Let's see. Let's see what the unaffiliated voters did yesterday. And the highly unscientific, very unofficial X poll. I guess it's an X poll, which just sounds weird. Probably shouldn't say that on air. Anyway.
You're on the honor system, people. You're on the honor system.
Let us know. Let's get some text in. Vince Deed's going to join us coming up here at the top of the hour. Texter says, I am one of them, and I urge all of my fellow independents to vote straight Democrat in the fall. How close was the race between Capito and Willis? Not is the answer, but we can put some numbers there. Shelley Moore Capito won 66% of the vote, which is closer. I think last time she ran in a primary in 20, she won 80% of the vote. Willis had 19%. Then you had Brian McKinney, David Perkey, Alex Gasserud, and Janet McNulty on the ballot there. But that race was called very, very early in the evening. This texter says, yes, I voted Democratic ballot too. Texter just says, so you're not going to stop crying then, says the texter. All right, reacting to yesterday's primary election here in West Virginia, Senator Vince Deeds from Greenbrier County going to join us coming up. And a little bit later on, Lance Wheeler from Kanawha County. This is Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Well, thanks for tuning in for your latest on a Wednesday. Meteorologist Joe Hansley here. Yesterday in Charleston, average for a high is 75. That's where highs are supposed to be this time of the year. And below average for the low. Chilled down to 40, a dozen of below average for that. No rain yesterday. No rain's going to be quite likely today. We have an approaching cold front swinging in this morning from the northwest. And there'll be some multiple chances of passing showers and storms through the course of the day, this evening, and ending not until the overnight. There is a marginal risk yet of some severe weather potential. If you're in the dark green, that's most of us in the state. Isolated damaging winds are possible as storms today, with also some locally heavy rain. The higher rainfall totals favor eastern areas of the state and lesser amounts for southwestern and western areas of the state. Fly Sierra forecast, it starts at home. New York City at 68 today, Tampa 88, near 90 tomorrow, 92 on Friday. From Panhandle to Panhandle, rain and storms likely today. Isolated severe storms with a high in the upper 60s to near 70 and a chance of showers and storms ending during the overnight hours, lows in the 40s. Watching for isolated severe storm potential, potentially a heavy shower too. Highs in the 70s, lows in the 40s to some upper 30s in the higher elevations tonight. East to west, be mindful, marginal risk of severe thunderstorms today. Highs in the 60s and some 70s, 40s overnight. And from east to west, southern areas of the state, 60s and 70s. Rain and storms likely today and early tonight with lows in the low to mid 40s. Northwest wind tomorrow, lighter, 64, mostly cloudy skies, 74 on Friday. I'll watch for chances of showers and storms in the long term for the weekend and also a warming trend. 87 Saturday, 91 Sunday, 95 Monday, 94 Tuesday, approaching some daily record highs and daily warm record lows by the end of the week and early next week. So some heat concerns next week.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
MetroNews Talkline already in progress. Day after the primary election. We are reacting to that, as are you. 800-765-TALK is the phone number, 800-765-8255. Text the show, 304-TALK-304. Got $10? Then you've got a shot at $50,000. Grab the new scratch-off Lion's Share, where your ticket could be a big-time win. And watch for that 5 times multiplier, because your prize could be 5 times sweeter. Get your chance to win the Lion's Share of the prize today at a West Virginia Lottery retailer, 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. David Morgantown, TJ in Charleston. I think we got Ethan on the phones today and Jake Link, our video producer. You are listening in on our great radio affiliates across the state or watching at WVMetroNews.com, Metro News TV app, Facebook, and YouTube. TJ, once again, a very good morning. Happy day after Election Day. Yeah, let's go with that. Sure.
Happy day after. Well, look, for as much as we like to joke, last night I had fun. You had fun.
Yeah, don't tell too many people.
We had fun.
I don't want my street cred getting ruined here, TJ. Don't tell too many people. I got a reputation to maintain here.
You're worried about this in your street cred compared to your wife telling you what you're going to wear that's what you're worried about?
Hey, buddy, I have not bought a stitch of clothes. Well, you can tell the clothing that I buy versus what my wife buys for me. Actually, my wife bought me this as well. Been married almost 20 years, man. I haven't bought a stitch of clothing since.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No. It's one of the reasons I got married. 304-TALK 304. That's the text line. We'll get to your text. We'll get to your phone calls. Let's get back to some of the candidates from yesterday's primary election. Vince Deeds, running for re-election, had to fend off a primary challenge in Greenbrier County in the 10th Senate District. A lot of money from the political action committees was poured into this district, and Senator Deeds was able to fend off that primary challenge from Jonathan Comer, and he joins us on Metro News Talk Line this morning. Senator, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
We're all hanging in there today. You know, the afternoon nap is going to be very nice. I'm looking forward to it. Looking
Right,
forward
for
to it.
sure. Hopefully, we all in about another hour or so can kind of start slowing down a little bit.
So all of this money came into this race. We talked to you about this race earlier. What do you think the difference was yesterday?
I'm very proud of the West Virginia voters. I truly am. I think that they really they're truth seekers, and they have really sought out what the truth of the matters are in the elections, and they really they felt like that they voted for the best candidates that represented West Virginia values, and so that's what I'm really proud about. I think there was a lot of negativity, in the race, that was pushed against me and some other candidates. But that's history now, but what we learned from it was this: West Virginia voters, if as long as the candidates stand on the truth and stand on West Virginia values, they will pick those candidates that represent their values.
Do you believe, Vince, those who spent the big money? So Takubo's race was the largest spend between he and Pritt. It was, probably closer to $1 million. Yours was second by my reckoning, roughly about $600,000. The money lost, frankly, in those two races. So do you believe the people that made that investment, do you think they'll see that either that doesn't work, or do you believe they'll look at that and say, well, next time we got to spend even more?
I hope that they realize that it's just a lost cause, and that they reevaluate their priorities. Let's just talk about policies and really how to move West Virginia forward. That's all I ever asked for in this election process, and that's all. I believe that genuine candidates really are looking for is let's talk about some policies and how to make West Virginia better. That all that money, just think what we could do with that money here, and we can invest all that money back into West Virginia to promote West Virginia true values, and that's just it. I mean, let's get beyond the negative ads that are absolutely just fictitious, and let's talk about what the truth of the matter is. Let's talk about the successes and the victories that we have in West Virginia, but then let's also look at where we come up a little bit short, and let's fix those problems, because we have to do that. We have to work together, and the only time that we will get to a really solid solution is when we work together.
Talking to Senator Vince Deeds out of Greenbrier County, 10th Senate District, won his primary yesterday. Will face Democrat Kent Gilkerson in the general election. Everybody said the right things in the last couple of days, Vince, about the Republican Party working together. Everybody's on the same team here. That's a lot easier said than done. You can only speak for you. Can you do that? Put that aside, personal differences aside, and work toward policy that benefits the state of West Virginia?
I have to. The short answer is I feel like that I have to, and I believe that all of those people, especially those that were hit with all these negative ads, are true West Virginians, and they really want what is best for West Virginia. If we get into what I call a cat fight, back and forth, and we just won't move forward. That is something that we have to realize that has really been slowing us down the past 2 years. It seems like there's been this tug of war between the executive branch and the legislature, and whenever that's not necessary. Absolutely, we can talk about policy, and we may not agree at the beginning of the conversation, but if we have a common problem and we work toward a common solution, that's how we make West Virginia better. We need to quit wasting time on all this negative stuff, and let's just get together, sit around the table, and say, hey, this is the problems that we need to concentrate on. Sit around the table and let's come up with a common solution. Let's work on it all together. It doesn't matter whether you're in the executive branch or the Senate and the House. And I truly believe I believe that the elected officials in West Virginia, if they want to support West Virginia and support West Virginia values and make West Virginia grow and move forward, that's what they'll do. It's a greater cause than any kind of selfish ambition.
It seems not a lot really changed when you look at the net numbers. I mean, the Senate's kind of going to end up roughly the same. We'll see. There could still be some maneuvering there. Yes, the House may have changed a few seats, but probably not enough to make a difference one way or the other. You talk about it seems like there's been a lack of attention. In my mind, that's economic development. There's been a lack of attention the last couple of years on how do we get West Virginians working? How do we get more companies here, more jobs, more tax revenue? After all of this, do you think, because I'll just say it, I think there's a difference in philosophy between the executive and what your faction likes to do in terms of economic development. Can you grill that up and find common ground there, and how do you do it?
I believe so, because I mean, whether it's dealing with small business or these bigger businesses that want to come into West Virginia, we just have to have a common language and make sure that if the executive branch is interested in a certain big company, whether it's Amazon, Google, whoever that wants to come to West Virginia, and the executive is really wanting that, then just have a conversation with the Senate and the House on how we can help make that happen, and make sure again, get everybody around the table, and let's talk it out on what makes West Virginia attractive to all these out-of-state businesses and opportunities, because the businesses are wanting to come. They're wanting to come to West Virginia, and we've seen that. We had good successes in times past in 23 and 24. We can do that. We can do that now. There's because what one man can do, another can do, and so I mean, I think that's really what we have to concentrate on.
Talking to Senator Vince Deeds out of Greenbrier County. What do you do today after all the campaigning's over with?
Well, honestly, I've been really blessed. I've been talking to a lot of our supporters and thanking them for all their. I mean, because it's a family affair. We've had a lot of supporters and been reaching out and talking to them. And then also, I'm looking ahead. There is a general election that we have to deal with here in November, and so we're looking at that. And then also we have interims coming up. June will be up at Canaan Valley, I believe. And again, I'm ready to go back to work. I've already talked to some delegates and some other senators about some human services issues that we need to address. Just those kind of issues. It's just time to get back to work.
So Vince, it's early. We were all up late last night, so I want to frame it that way. Just kind of curious. Governor pick up the phone and call you this morning?
No, sir. No, he hasn't.
You going to call him?
I would if I felt like that it would be a productive phone call. I think everybody. You can hear my tone of conversation here. I want him to succeed. I really do want the governor to succeed, but the only way that he succeeds is if he works effectively with the Senate and the House. And it's just that simple. I want to be part of that. And so, I mean, that's, I hope that he realizes that. And because I've always been available by phone and I'd love to go visit with him, see if we can find some common ground. But it's a group effort. This is something that's not a Vince Deeds and Patrick Morrissey issue. This is an issue between the governor's office, the Senate, and the House, and we all have to get on that same page, and let's work on this stuff together.
Senator Vince Deeds out of Greenbrier County won his primary yesterday. Will face Democrat Kent Gilkerson in the general election in November. Senator, thank you so much for the time. Congratulations. We'll talk again soon.
Thank you all. Really appreciate your service.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for the time this morning. We'll get to some phone calls coming up next. Susan in Upshur County has been waiting very patiently. You are first up on the other side of the break. Plus, we'll get to some text. Got a poll on my Twitter handle, @DaveWilsonMN. If you are an independent voter in West Virginia. Unaffiliated voter, what did you do yesterday? Sit it out, vote on the Democrat ballot, or vote on the nonpartisan ballot? Highly unscientific, very unofficial polling here on MetroNews Talkline. We're in the Encova Insurance Studios, and we're back in a moment.
Your heart deserves the best. And at the WVU Heart and Vascular Institute, you'll find world-class care without leaving West Virginia. Our cardiology experts offer everything from routine screenings to treatment for complex heart conditions. Using the latest diagnostic tools and minimally invasive procedures, we focus on your long-term health so you can stay strong for the moments that matter. Call 855-WVU-CARE or visit wvumedicine.org/heart.
Building a stronger West Virginia isn't just a dream, it's a mission. The High Technology Foundation knows economic diversity is the key. For over 30 years, they've been dedicated to transforming the state's economic landscape. Conveniently located in the heart of West Virginia, innovation, growth, opportunity, all under one roof. There's no need to look far for change. It's happening right here at the High Technology Foundation in North Central West Virginia. Visit WVHTF.org to learn more.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan. We are here for you.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Speed is important. Security is essential. CityNet delivers both with high-performance fiber and advanced cybersecurity solutions for your business. Visit citynet.net. Remember, CityNet connects, protects, and perfects. 304-TALK, 304 is the text line. 800-765-TALK is the phone number. Susan in Upshur County. calling in this morning. Hey, Susan, what's on your mind?
Hey, well, I'm one of those pissed off independent voters who decided to skip everything yesterday because apparently the GOP doesn't want us to be a part of the process. And, you know, from some of the texters' comments this morning, you know, it's obvious that they found us hold us in just complete contempt. So I didn't vote at all yesterday. But having said that, listening to the Democrat candidate who will be running against Shelley Moore Capito in the fall, I couldn't vote for her either. So I don't know what I'll do come the fall.
Let me ask you this.
Put that one out too.
Hey, Susan, let me ask you this question. And I understand where you're coming from, but could you find yourself supporting the right Democrat candidate given the opportunity?
Yes, if they had the right, if they supported the things that I believe, and they weren't so extreme, and as she indicated, she is so progressive. Yes, I absolutely could. That's why I'm an independent, because I don't want to be, you know, labeled or pigeonholed into supporting one party or the other.
Well, so go ahead.
So Democrats that would be more focused on, let's say, jobs, economic development, not really that focused on the social issues, or willing to live with the status quo. I'm just curious, is that something that would get you to the polls as an independent?
Yes, I think moderate Democrats are a dying breed, and I think that's what we need is centrist, moderate Democrats and centrist, moderate Republicans, for that matter. And we seem to have lost both of those.
Susan, thank you so much for the call. We appreciate you weighing in.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye.
absolutely. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. That's the phone number. Text line 304-TALK 304. A couple of texts. I know the Republican Party and media call people on the right who are willing to negotiate rhinos. My question is, what do you call the people who are so far right they can't see any other perspective? Republicans?
Radicals.
Radicals? You want to go radicals? And look, it's on both sides, right? Susan's not wrong in her analysis, TJ, on both. And this is a result of the primaries and cue Chris Starwalt's rant. But you have the race to the far, you have these races to the right and the races to the left on either side. And what you lose those people who are looking for someone that's willing to negotiate, willing to talk a little bit.
I was trying to look at the slate in the West Virginia Senate for the general that's going to be coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not her area, but trying to find a race where it might fit what she was talking about, right? That moderate sense. How about the 17th in the unexpired that's going to be Richie Robb versus Ann Sharnock? Is that one? I mean, could that be one where you get independents that would say, okay, I'll go with Robb? I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to find a race that may try to fit into these boundaries because I think there are a lot of Susans out there.
Sure. I agree with you. I agree. And let's be real, TJ. Let's be real. When we talk about these factions on the GOP, it's not as if we are talking about the differences between, AOC and Ted Cruz here.
No.
They're all conservative Republicans. They all agree on all of the social issues, despite the campaign rhetoric. All the social issues that get brought up, they all pretty much agree on it. Nobody wants boys playing girls sports. Nobody's going to roll back abortion laws. Nobody on in the Republican Party in West Virginia is going to come after your guns. None of that stuff. They all agree on these things. When I look at this, what it really comes down to, for me, TJ, as I look at it, is the how we do the thing and who's going to get the credit. Now, that may be a little bit of an oversimplification, but is anybody against economic development?
No.
But the how, there's where you get the difference. The how could be the difference between, well, we want to mandate power plants run at a certain level.
Mm-hmm.
There's your real differences between these factions. They're not as far apart as it gets made out to be, but there are some very stark differences in the how. Is that fair? I think that's fair.
You're spot on. And it comes to look, I'm a conservative. I grew up around big business, worked in big business. I'm pro big business.
Sure.
You got a lot of Republicans in that Morrissey faction that are populist. They can't stand corporations. You think about debanking and those kinds of things, because most of the other social issues that you talk about, abortion, the guys in the girls' locker room, guys in girls' sports, that's done and over.
Right.
You can't get credit for it. It's done and over. And so you got to go to that extreme. And you're right. That's where the rub is. And it really becomes this populist kind of feel between the two parties. And it's more about the credit than it is about the result.
304 Talk 304. Get a couple of more texts in here. Where did I leave off? 304 Talk 304. Here we go. Morrissey lost biggest in the two races he was most visibly involved in to Kubo and Deeds. Both of his Supreme Court picks lost resoundingly. Yes, many of his picks won, but did the R voters in those races know they were voting for Morrissey picks the same way Takubo Deeds voters were unquestionably aware they were voting against the guy Morrissey wanted? I think Takubo Deeds and Supreme Court point to a Morrissey rejection in a big way. Not sure voters were as aware of Morrissey endorsements in the other races. Well, chew on that. TJ wants to chew on it, but time is what I'm indicating, TJ. Also, coming up, Lance Wheeler going to join us from the Charleston studios. He won the Republican primary down in Kanawha County in Senate District, is that 8 off the top of my head, I believe. That's coming up, other side of the news break. This is Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. It is 11:30 and time for a news update. Let's check in with the Metro News Radio Network, find out what's happening across the great state of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Jeff Jenkins. There are some
law. Get results, not excuses.
Well, thanks for tuning in for your latest on a Wednesday. Meteorologist Joe Hansley here. Yesterday in Charleston, average for a high is 75. That's where highs are supposed to be this time of the year. And below average for the low. Chilled down to 40, a dozen of below average for that. No rain yesterday. No, rain's going to be quite likely today. We have an approaching cold front swinging in this morning from the northwest. And there'll be some multiple chances of passing showers and storms through the course of the day, this evening, and ending not until the overnight. There is a marginal risk yet of some severe weather potential. If you're in the dark green, that's most of us in the state. Isolated damaging winds are possible as storms today, with also some locally heavy rain. The higher rainfall totals favor eastern areas of the state and lesser amounts for southwestern and western areas of the state. Fly CRW forecast, it starts at home. New York City at 68 today, Tampa 88, near 90 tomorrow, 92 on Friday. From Panhandle to Panhandle, rain and storms likely today. Isolated severe storms with a high in the upper 60s to near 70 and a chance of showers and storms ending during the overnight hours, lows in the 40s. Watching for isolated severe storm potential, potentially a heavy shower too. Highs in the 70s, lows in the 40s to some upper 30s in the higher elevations tonight. East to west, be mindful, marginal risk of severe thunderstorms today. Highs in the 60s and some 70s, 40s overnight. And from east to west, southern areas of the state, 60s and 70s, rain and storms likely today and early tonight with lows in the low to mid 40s. Northwest wind tomorrow, lighter, 64, mostly cloudy skies, 74 on Friday. I'll watch for chances of showers and storms in the long term for the weekend and also a warming trend. 87 Saturday, 91 Sunday, 95 Monday, 94 Tuesday, approaching some daily record highs and daily warm record lows by the end of the week and early next week. So some heat concerns next week.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
When you hired me, you were 29. You seemed like you were 50 when you were 29. You were running that thing like a 50-year-old man. All right, we got to go get some tape. Come on, get out of there.
I think I've sort of always been 50, and I think I'm 50 now.
Yeah, me too. That's a great point.
Join Tony Caridi, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for 3 Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronewstv.com.
May not feel like it right now, but we are creeping up on the unofficial start of summer. It's just a couple of weeks away. You need to be prepared when it arrives by going to check out the entire inventory and the great deals on pontoon and fishing boats at Lewindow Marine Sales. You can do it right now, even while the weather's not so hot. Check it out at LewindowMarineSales.com. Lewindow Marine Sales. We sell family fun. In non-election news, by the way, if you go to WVMetroNews.com this morning, we have the brackets for the high school baseball regional tournaments, which will begin next week. That's over at the sports page of WVMetroNews.com this morning. Primary election yesterday in the 8th Senate District. Kanawha County Commissioner Lance Wheeler came away victorious. He joins us in the Cove Insurance Studios in Charleston this morning. Lance, good morning. Congratulations.
Good morning, and thanks for having me on.
All right, I've kind of started everybody with this question, so we'll keep the streak going. What was the difference last night? What do you think made the difference in your win?
Well, I think this was a hard-fought race by everyone, including my opponents. You know, we got out there, we talked to voters, we told them our ideas, and I shared my experience as a county commissioner. And I think at the end of the day, there was a lot of noise, but the voters was able to see through that. They were able to look at our principles, our experience, our actions. And I think that the voters voted for the conservative that they believe was going to get the job done. And I'm very grateful for the voters that did that, who supported me, who entrusted me. And I look forward to winning their support along with everyone else in November.
Have you thought yet? Because you got to start thinking. Which way are you going to come down in this faction race in the Senate for the presidency?
You know, I've been focused on the 8th Senatorial District and the voters and listening to them and seeing where they want their state senator, their representative, to represent them at the state capitol. I've been keeping a little tone deaf, if you may say, in the other races. But, you know, I keep seeing a trend, and that is voters want conservative values, West Virginia conservative values. They want free education for everyone to be able to participate, for their children to participate in the ways that they want to. They want regulations to get out of our businesses, out of our healthcare, and allow the free market to work. They want lower taxes. They want more money in their pocket. They want waste to be eliminated out of the state budget. A $5.5 billion state budget. You can't tell me there's not one red cent in that budget that we can't cut of waste and still have essential services funded. You know, those are the values that I'm going to bring to the state capitol. Those are also the values that I see Senate President Randy Smith and his team have as well. I'm very supportive of what they've been doing with their leadership, and it's something that I hope to get up there in the state capitol after the general, work with them, and be a part of that team along with Governor Patrick Morrisey.
Talking to Lance Wheeler. He is a Kanawha County Commissioner, won the Republican nomination in the 8th State Senate District. Lance, out there on the campaign trail, talking to voters, and what are they telling you they want from you if you were to go to Charleston? What do they want? What do they actually want to get done?
Well, that's a great question, because that was something that we made a big part of this campaign was grassroots. I probably knocked on almost 1,000 doors across this district. And, you know, really in Putnam County, Buffalo, I was up there door knocking and I talked to a voter and she told me, wow, I've never in my life had a politician or a candidate come to my door and talk to me. And I think that's important to listen to the voters and hear what issues they have going on. And they keep saying the same thing. They want waste. They don't want their taxpayer dollars going to things that are overpriced or programs they don't support. They want taxes to be reduced. They feel like they're taxed enough already right now. And so I think that message of what I've done as the county commissioner for 5 years in finding over $5 million of waste in our budget so we don't have to increase taxes, but also not defund essential services that people support, like our fire, our EMS, our first responders, making sure that those programs still exist. I'm going to take that same type of fight when it comes to the state capitol. I'm going to look at every single line item in that budget. I'm going to start asking the hard questions to our agencies. Why are you paying so much for this line item? And I think what we can do is working together as a team with Senate Presidents Randy Smith, Patrick Morrisey, and the entire legislature and working together of cutting that budget down so that way we can find more money to cut your state income tax and get that level to zero.
So is there enough waste to be able to go to zero? And look, I don't like the income tax. No one likes the income tax. But I've said, look, we may have to have a consumption tax.
Mm-hmm.
So are you open to that idea of a consumption tax in order to get the income tax to zero? Or do you think truly there's enough waste that we don't have to have it either?
Well, I think those are the tough questions we have to ask, right? And I don't think we have anyone really getting to ask that question. Listen, I'm coming in with the experience that I've been able to do with our county budget and finding ways, whether that's $30,000 here or any type of low-hanging fruit, that when you add those up, it brings in big dollars. That's what I'm going to bring in my leadership, and I'm going to be laser focused on that as well. Listen, as a county commissioner, I've worked 365 days in the year. My constituents in Kanawha County know that, and that's what I'm going to do as your state senator in the 8th Senatorial District. I'm going to work 365 days. I live here in Charleston. My Senate office is not going to be too far away. You're going to see me there quite often, working with our agencies, building those relationships, asking the tough questions, and working to continue to build on our West Virginia values, our conservative values, and making West Virginia a better place to live, work, and raise a family.
Since you brought up the income tax, Lance, we have a plan to phase out the income tax. It's based on the economy growing. As the economy grows, the income tax eventually gets phased out. Is it too slow of a plan for you? Should we cut it more prior to these triggers kicking in? Because the plan's in place.
Well, I think the plan is a good plan, but it's a one-step plan. I think that we need to look at all measures of what we can do. If we can reduce the state budget of inefficiencies and waste while still funding essential services, again, like our first responders, our fire, EMS, services like that, why not be able to continue to cut into the state income tax and get there sooner to get it to zero? This isn't just about having taxpayers being able to have more money in their pockets so they can spend for them and their families, but this is also about economic opportunity. When we talk to businesses in this nation and we start talking to them about West Virginia, they always keep looking at the tax rate. And it's not even just about their own pockets. It's about how am I going to bring in a workforce to get this project started when I can't convince them to move to West Virginia. If we can have no income tax like we see in other states, in Tennessee and Florida, which you see the prosperity that's coming to those states just from not having an income tax, I think that's going to be a really hard sell to businesses, bringing them right in here. And listen, I'm a pro-business guy. I've always been. You can see my record with the Kanawha County Commission. Unfortunately, the Chamber of Commerce decided to go with another candidate in this election, and I think the voters have sent a message to the Chamber that they got it wrong. But I'm looking forward to receiving that phone call from the Chamber, working with them, and seeing how we can bring prosperity back here to the state of West Virginia. But I think the first start with that is working on a plan that gets the state income tax to zero.
You talk about Tennessee. I agree it's a model, but they do have a much higher consumption tax. I want to switch to this. $416,000 spent in your race among 7 PACs.
Yeah.
Good, bad, reasonable, ridiculous. Your thoughts?
Well, listen, again, I said this earlier. There was a lot of money spent for my opponents. If you looked at my campaign, you know I was positive the entire time. I didn't talk about my opponents. I talked about me. I talked about my principles, who I am, my experience, my accomplishments. That's what I talked about with voters when it was 1,000 doors that I knocked and talked with them. I think voters saw through that noise. You can spend a lot of money, but when you have a candidate like myself who's willing to talk with voters on their doorsteps and having those difficult conversations and listening to them, that's what voters are motivated to see. And I think that's what we saw from the election night, electing someone who is a conservative and being able to fight for them in the state Senate.
Lance Wheeler, Kanawha County Commissioner, now the GOP candidate for the state Senate 8th District. Lance, congratulations on the primary win, and we'll probably be talking between now and November, the general election. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Coming up, we'll get to your thoughts at 304-TALK-304. You can also give us a call. We love to talk to you. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. That is the phone number. More from the Cove Insurance Studios in a moment.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
Getting ghosted is never fun, especially by your network. Cyber threats don't announce themselves. They slip in quietly, disrupt operations, and disappear before you know what happened. CityNet's cybersecurity services provide proactive monitoring, threat detection, and expert response, so your business stays connected and protected. Commit to a relationship built on trust and reliability. Learn more at citynet.net today. And remember, CityNet connects, protects, and perfects.
Right now, America is hungry for energy, more power, more reliability, and more security. So here's a question worth asking. Why not coal? And why not now? West Virginia sits on one of the most abundant energy resources in the world. Generations of miners, proven infrastructure, and coal-fired power plants already delivering dependable, around-the-clock electricity. At a time when demand is surging and reliability matters more than ever, coal isn't a question mark, it's a solution. Today, there's robust support in West Virginia and Washington to strengthen American energy independence using the resources we already have. So again, we ask, why not coal? And why not now? Because when it comes to powering our homes, our hospitals, our economy, and new opportunities, West Virginia Coal is ready. A message from the Friends of Coal, powering America today and tomorrow.
In West Virginia, community is everything. It's about showing up for each other. Vin Salengo and the team at Salengo Law don't just work here, they live here, proudly sponsoring local events and giving back to the neighborhoods they love. So when you're facing a serious injury, trust the local team that's always in your corner. They spent over 25 years fighting for West Virginia families. Salengo Law. Get results, not excuses. Visit us at salengolaw.com.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? A lot of times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Stay ahead of West Virginia weather with Metro News Television. Now bringing you a new way to stay informed across the Mountain State. Get updates daily at 9, noon, and 4. From headlines and precipitation to severe weather threats and highs and lows. See conditions from panhandle to panhandle and check travel with the Fly CRW forecast. Our meteorologists are on your screens and on Talkline, Midday, Hotline, and Sportsline, keeping you up to date. Metro News Television weather. Accurate, local, and always on.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Let's get your thoughts in. 304-TALK-304. That's the text line. 800-765-TALKS, the phone number. A couple of notes here. First, the West Virginia Democrat Party put out a news release. West Virginia Democrats said today that the primary election results demonstrated growing Democratic enthusiasm and momentum across the Mountain State, highlighted by strong voter turnout and key victories fueled by broad Democratic participation. I'd agree with that. I don't always agree with their press releases, but TJ, I agree with that. I would feel pretty good if I'm Mike Pushkin this morning, the state Democrat Party chair.
I would feel pretty good about the fact they got the court. I mean, that's a big win. Forget the legislature for a minute. I mean, yeah, they did well, but man, they got the court. That matters.
They got the court. There's momentum. Again, what we talked about when Republicans decided to go close the primary, I think most of this is gut feeling we're seeing come to fruition. Independent voters were upset. They couldn't be part of this particular primary. They couldn't vote for the candidates they wanted to. So they said, you know what? I'll go vote over here. And that could translate. Look, if Democrats can pick up a couple of seats in the Senate and a handful of seats in the House of Delegates, that's a huge victory given where West Virginia has gone in the last decade.
Well, and Democrats certainly didn't have to spend the money to be well-positioned the way Republicans did in the primary. So I don't know how much money they have, but it's there for the general. They didn't have to burn it in the primary.
Also, one other thing, and then we're going to get to text here. School Freedom Fund put out a press release this morning. School Freedom Fund, which is affiliated with Club for Growth Action, helped 12 conservative champions win their West Virginia legislative primaries on Tuesday, with 8 races still too close to call. One of those conservatives, Charles Hartzog, defeated outspoken School Freedom opponent and incumbent House Finance Chairman Vernon Criss, is the lead paragraph there. Then it goes on to list the races that School Freedom Fund West Virginia victories so far. Goes on down the list. Don DeWitt, Hartzog, McCready, Phillips, Chapman, Haney, Barnhart, Azinger, Maynard, Roberts, Thorne, Charnock, listed there on the press release. So some of the reaction coming in this morning. Any thoughts for the text line?
I mean, good for them, but how many did they lose? By my count, they were in 26 races, and their net gain was only 2 seats. So you lost as many as you won, and you spent $917,000 to gain a net of 2. Maybe worth it, just saying.
And listen, I hate to wade into this territory. How many of those candidates would have won anyway? Being incumbents. And I look at some of these. Azinger, that's a name. Mike Azinger probably wins that race anyway. I mean, longtime name there in Wood County. Trent Barnhart, very popular in that district. I can vouch for that personally. I know him. I know that district very well. Very popular there. How many of those candidates win without School Freedom Fund getting involved? I don't know. We probably can't say, but I would venture to say several of them. Several. All right, let's get to the text line. I promised you we would. 304-TALK-304 is the text line. Independent here, voted on the Democrat ticket. Pretty ridiculous that people are so willing to pass levies and increase the tax burden on themselves, then turn around and complain about not being able to afford bills and groceries. Patrick Morrissey and others should be ashamed of themselves for the negative ads. Can we talk about the Granville City election? You can do that tomorrow morning, 9:06 to 10 on WAJR in Morgantown. Dave and TJ, it may have been mentioned, but do we know yet how many total Republican primary ballots were cast compared to total Democrat, which would include X amount of independents? You have asked for that information. I don't know that we have it yet, correct?
We do not have it yet. I'm told late May, early June.
Okay. That text does not had a personal text to the bat phone there, and that's something else to deal with later. I'm an independent voter. I will be voting for Democrats in West Virginia's House and Senate races, but not my local area races in the fall. I will also be voting against Morrissey next time. Go Larry Pack. Independent voted Democrat and will take it into the fall. Independent voters showed up and voted the nonpartisan ticket and only voted for the Montague County school levy. Independent voted Democrat. Hey, what do we do if we don't use Twitter machine? I voted Democrat because I'll never vote for the party of insurrection and protecting child molesters. You forgot
+1.
You forgot the option. I changed my party Republican, and I temporarily changed my party to Republican. Twitter's only got so many options.
That's true.
All right, 304 Talk 304. Final break, more text. We'll wrap up this day after primary election edition of Talkline. Back in a moment.
Your retirement with confidence. With over 150 years of combined experience, the advisors of the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group provide advice and wealth management strategies to individuals, families, small businesses, professional offices, and institutions. With the Stike team, you'll have access to an advising team with extensive resources, a client-first mindset, and a passion for helping transform the lives of those we serve. Visit wealthenhancement.com/Stike today and join the team that's dedicated to your success.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan. We are here for you.
Welcome back, class of 2011. Most likely to be a millionaire, didn't quite make it. Hey, reunion's not over yet.
Over here, millionaire, smile.
Make room, people.
Who is that?
Congratulations to our very own Millionaire for Life.
Never too late, man.
You could win up to $1 million every year with Millionaire for Life. Play in store or online today. West Virginia Lottery. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Every day across West Virginia, healing happens here, where skilled hands and caring hearts save lives. West Virginia hospitals are more than places of care. They are lifelines for our communities. Employing nearly 54,000 people, hospitals power local economies and help communities not just survive, but thrive. During National Hospital Week, we recognize those who care for us all, because healing happens here, and its impact reaches everywhere. A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? Odd times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Couple of more texts before we call it a day and turn things over to Dave Allen and Amanda Barron for Metro News Midday on many of these same Metro News radio stations. Oh, by the way, Dave and Amanda will be talking with both of the state party chairs, Josh Holstein, Republican Party chair, and Mike Pushkin, Democrat Party chair, a little bit later on this afternoon. 304 Talk 304. Guys, look out for Jason Barrett for Senate President. Morrissey doesn't gain much with Smith in there as quarterback again. This is like a football game where he's down at the half. Dave and TJ, did the age of each candidate make a difference? Is this the start of voting for term limits? Asks the Northern Outpost. I don't know. I'd really have to go through and look at the age of each of those candidates.
I don't
know. The Democrats are excited about their party turnout in the election, but the independents had no choice but to vote on the Democratic ticket. That's why their turnout numbers are so high. Independents are registered independent for a reason and will vote for the right person in November, not by party. All the people who voted for Morrissey candidates support Morrissey, his values and ideas, and think putting some New Jersey flavor on West Virginia is the best move for the future. Their choice we all have to live with. Shout out to my intrepid fellow election poll workers who were on the job from 5:30 a.m. until whenever the truck picked up the supplies. It was a great day helping West Virginia citizens.
Appreciate you.
Absolutely. 304 Talk 304. Let me go. How about a poll to see how many independents were forced to register as such? You registered. Okay. Again, we got another day. We can do another poll. Independent voted Democrat and will continue to do so. Moving municipal elections to coincide with the primary was supposed to enhance voter turnout. That's not been the case. Lance Wheeler's unimpressive. 304 Talk 304. I'm nonpartisan registered, voted as nonpartisan. Government no longer for the people, by the people, but now to the people, says the texter. All right, big shout out to our video crew and the entire Metro News team on the coverage yesterday. Well done. Thanks to all of you. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 10:06. This Talkline of Metro News, voice of West Virginia.